Mr. Speaker, the United States went from importing liquefied natural gas just 15 years ago to now being the world's largest exporter. That's a powerful testament to America's technological advance and our ability to harness this clean, abundant, affordable source of baseload power for our own use and for the ability to export it. President Biden's recent decision to halt the exploration of American liquefied natural gas is not in the interest of the American worker, the American economy, our allies' national security, or the globe's goal of a clean energy transition. This is just another President Joe Biden poor decision in a long line of other failed energy policies since he took office in January 2021. As noted by my good friend from California, shutting down on day one the Keystone XL pipeline, denying new permits, discouraging new drilling, discouraging new pipelines, and coercing banks and securities firms across this country to discourage badly needed loans and capital investments in the energy industry by way of environmental social governance, so-called ESG policies. These reckless decisions have weakened our global leadership and weakened America's energy independence. And while President Biden's nanny state regulators consider going full California on the whole nation by banning your gas stove, Republicans support an all-the-above approach to our energy needs and our long-run energy transition. Republicans believe that we need to tap into Americans' abundance of natural resources that are crucial to enhancing our own energy security and our own energy independence. The United States stands ready to export more LNG to Europe, but pipelines and other needed infrastructure are not adequate in this country in order to advance more assistance in the short run. In my view, Mr. Speaker, upstream and downstream infrastructure investments in natural gas are not stranded assets, which is typically the argument made by the opposition. According to a recent U.S. Energy Information Administration International Energy Outlook, by 2050, global energy use will increase nearly 50% compared to today. Now, let that sink in. 50% greater than today in just 25 years. And although the primary energy consumption sources of renewables is expected to grow from 15% today to 27% by 2050, still 80% of consumption will need to come from coal, oil, natural gas, and nuclear. Clearly, based on global power demands and despite new renewable sources, this globe, this nation needs decades of liquefied natural gas access and natural gas in our reserves. We need to invest and create that infrastructure leading to our own development and crucial export development, which will, if we export, add $73 billion, it's estimated, to our U.S. economy over the next 15 years, bolstering energy trade, stimulating domestic production, while assisting friends and allies abroad. Increasing U.S. liquefied natural gas export will benefit our allies, as I note, in Europe and in Asia by adding the U.S. as a reliable source of energy on the global market, offsetting the risk that's being dominated by one supplier, like in the case of Germany being completely dependent on natural gas from Russia at the time of Russia's invasion to Ukraine, or countries being caught in a supply crisis due to war in the Persian Gulf, or war or shipping challenges in the Red Sea. Just last year, Mr. Speaker, about 13% of Europe's natural gas went through the Red Sea, that now is impacted by the Houthis in Yemen attacking shipping of all flag vessels trying to go up the Red Sea through the Suez Canal to service Europe. We have natural gas fields across our nation in Pennsylvania, New York, that rival, may even be more abundant than those in the Middle East. Yet we will never see, in my view, Mr. Speaker, a new pipeline built from Pennsylvania over to the East Coast ports under this administration or under future Democratic leadership. And I don't think we'll see new jobs or development of New York's massive, abundant natural gas in the Marcellus Shale under Democratic governors. Again, these kinds of policy officials and Biden officials have doubled down, tripled down on policies that not only raise costs for everyday American families, but do nothing in the long run to impact the climate. Likewise, aid to American technology exports, the Biden administration should work to ensure that international financial institutions like the World Bank or the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development will finance natural gas projects and nuclear power as a part of the energy transition. Right now, they're very reluctant to do that. And in the case of the EBRD, will not finance nuclear. Now think about that. And certainly won't finance natural gas. The EBRD has been insisting on financing renewable green energy projects only to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, and yet ignores an all-of-the-above energy strategy. International financial institutions like the EBRD should finance beyond nuclear and include sources of energy like liquefied natural gas to improve access and diversification, particularly in Europe, their energy backbone, their energy sources. It's in their best interest to do that. Energy policy is a long-term investment in the needs of the globe's future, both at home and abroad. And as more and more countries grow and develop and their people become wealthier and their incomes rise, their energy consumption will increase as well. We cannot wait and have nothing to offer, and certainly cannot impose the Biden administration's energy policies on the world and expect a good outcome, or rising wages or incomes. We should be investing in all of our energy options, like oil, nuclear, renewables, and natural gas, not only our ability to export and remain energy dominant worldwide, but to benefit the entire economy of the globe. President Biden's mistakes and failed policies today will lead us to not having the energy capacity that we need for tomorrow, and he will be making the transition to a clean energy future even harder and more costly for our families.